So today was one of the scariest days of my life. Like actually one of the scariest days. So let me tell you what happened. I went to the shop this morning to get some more alcohol. It's the second time I've been there in 2 weeks. And then I went to Aldi to pick up my online shopping. I walked into Aldi and immediately noticed that the woman who was checking me out had a name tag that said Sarah. Now, the thing is, I have a friend named Sarah. She's one of those friends that you only call when you need something, and she lives about an hour away from me. But I haven't seen her since last Christmas. It's not like we keep in regular contact or anything. And this was the first time that I'd seen another Sarah in almost a year. So I just kind of laughed and thought, oh, well, small world, right? But as soon as I got home, I felt this overwhelming sense of dread. Like I couldn't shake this feeling that something bad was going to happen. And it wasn't like a little intuitive feeling like I usually get before something bad happens. This was like a full-on panic attack. I don't think I've ever felt so scared in my entire life. I mean, I started crying. I was shaking. I called my mom and asked her to come over because I didn't want to be alone. And even after she left, I was still scared. So I decided to watch one of my favorite movies to cheer myself up. And normally when I watch this movie, I know all the lines by heart. I could recite the entire movie verbatim. But for some reason, I couldn't focus. I couldn't remember any of the lines. I just kept thinking about how bad things were going to end. Then, at around 4 p.m., I heard a knock on my door. Now, I live in a duplex. There are only 2 apartments here. I'm in one, and the other apartment is occupied by an elderly couple. They're very nice, but they aren't very good with technology. So every once in a while, they ask me for help with their Wi-Fi, or their computers, or their printers. And I'm always happy to help them out, but I was definitely not expecting them to come to my door today. I opened the door, and I asked them, "Hey, is everything okay?" And the husband said, "Yes, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you please help us with our Wi-Fi?" So I walked in with them and I tried to explain to him that he needed to restart his router. But no matter what I said, he kept interrupting me, and he wouldn't let me finish a sentence. And it was really frustrating. But instead of telling him to shut up, I decided to play along and pretend that I understood what he was saying, even though I had no idea what he was talking about. Well, after about 20 minutes of pretending, my mom came down the stairs and she started yelling at me for being rude to her friends. And I explained to her that I wasn't being rude. I was just trying to help him, but he keeps interrupting me. Then my mom told me to just go to his apartment and fix their Wi-Fi, instead of having him walk back and forth between both apartments. Now, I wasn't going to argue with my mom, but I was definitely hesitant to go to their apartment alone. Something was just telling me that I shouldn't go in there. But I ignored that feeling and I told myself that I should probably go fix their Wi-Fi. So I followed them upstairs, and then I told them that I would be right back after I took out the trash. I was hoping that by the time I came back, the Wi-Fi would be fixed, but it wasn't. And this time the husband told me that he wanted to show me something. He led me over to his computer, and then he turned off the lights and closed the blinds. Then he said, "Now watch this." And I saw the creepiest thing ever. On his computer screen, there was a live feed from one of the Ring cameras outside of my apartment. And what made it so creepy is that the camera was pointed directly at my front door. But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was that on the live stream, I saw my shadow standing on my welcome mat smiling. And if you've watched my channel before, you know that I'm convinced that there's a demon living in my closet. That demon must have gotten out because I don't have a shadow. Like literally, I don't have a shadow. If you look at any video that I've posted, you will never see a shadow behind me. It's not because I edited it out. It's because I genuinely don't have a shadow. Now, I'm not sure if I should feel honored or terrified that a demon would choose to possess me as its vessel. But I swear to God, if that demon opens my front door and comes out while I'm gone, I'm gonna lose it. So as I'm standing there watching this live stream with my mouth hanging open, the husband says, "Do you see that?" Then he puts a finger to his lips and he shushes me. He tells me to keep watching. And a few seconds later, my front door slowly opens. And again, if you've watched my videos before, you know that my front door doesn't open like that. Like my front door has a weird mechanism where the doorknob sticks out. So you can either turn the knob or push the door open from the outside. But you can never push my door open without making it squeak really loudly. The only way that I can make it stop squeaking is by putting WD-40 on it. So I'm watching this live stream and I'm thinking, oh my God, if that door opens, I am so screwed. But then I see someone walking into my apartment. And at first I couldn't see their face because they were wearing a black hoodie. But then they turned around and I realized that it was my neighbor from next door. He's a pretty quiet guy. I haven't talked to him much, but he seems nice enough. And I was wondering why he was in my apartment. But that question was quickly answered when my mom yelled, "Hey, is someone in there?" He was obviously looking for my mom. He must have known that she was inside my apartment. Well, after he left, the blinds suddenly opened and the lights turned on. The husband and wife apologized for scaring me, and then they asked me to help them with their Wi-Fi again. Like I was seriously so freaked out that I didn't even question how they knew that I was home. I just went downstairs and pretended like nothing had happened. But after they left, I checked the Ring app, and I saw that my door had been open for a total of 4 hours. And I know for a fact that I didn't leave my door open. And I know for a fact that neither of my neighbors would have the guts to sneak into my apartment and leave my door open. And that is when I realized that that demon must have possessed my doorknob. Because I am the only person that knows that my door makes a loud squeaking noise whenever someone opens it. I'm also the only person that knows that I don't have a shadow. So whoever was in my apartment knew things about me that they shouldn't have known. As soon as I realized that, I barricaded my front door with a dresser, and I haven't moved that dresser in 3 days. Like I'm too scared to move it. And now I'm starting to think that maybe I should invest in a security camera for my front door, because that S, just crazy. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to my crazy story. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.